So if I'm sitting cross-legged on this couch, so what I'm feeling, of course, is my feet tucked in underneath my legs. But if you have your feet down on the ground, have them about a hip's width apart. And I just want to check whoever's, Bill, is the sound okay? Because I don't have any headphones or anything in. It's all right. You can hear me okay. Oh, look, you've got some fireworks happening in the background there. That's very good. Okay. Um, And also, before I continue, I just started this Mahamudra course with Venerable Rabina and through Wisdom Publications. So I'm so impressed with the videography of it. Like it makes it really easy to watch because they've done such a beautiful job. The sound's really clear, the video is really clear, and Venerable Rabina, of course, edited Lama Yeshe's Mahamudra book. So she knows it upside down and inside out. So it's really, for those of you who are like listening to her, I would just maybe take yourself over there and see if that's something you'd be interested in, because I'm finding it quite valuable. Anyway, so I just wanted to mention that. So I've been lying on the couch here studying. If that makes any sense. All right, studying. Okay. So let's just settle back, and so I don't want to interrupt you guys again. So for all of us now, just get a sense of your hands in your lap, whether they're, your palms are facing up, whether they're facing down, or whether they're in the traditional meditation mudra, and your shoulders aligned with your hips and your ears aligned with your shoulders. So, almost as soon as you do that, all of a sudden your spine is getting longer and you're kind of sitting upright. So now imagine you do have this beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And you're just lengthening your spine. Imagine you're putting some space in between those vertebrae. And then go to the crown of the head and release any tension in your scalp, forehead, eyes, nose, cheeks, your mouth, the jaw, the ears, the back of the head, at the base of the skull, and put a little bit of length in the back of your neck. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly, and just release all the tension in your limbs. Just bring your attention to your breath sensations as you inhale and exhale. The nostrils, the thoracic region, the belly, maybe. Maybe there's some sound in your home, outside your home. So just allow all those sounds to be there. So trying not to allow the mind to become distracted by sound. And then just check in with your mind this evening. So some of you were in the meditation this morning. So, what is that? 14 hours ago, maybe. Yeah. 13 and a half hours ago. So just see over this period of the last 12, 13 hours or so, in what way has your mind changed? So this morning we talked about impermanence. Because we have this idea that we've kind of fixed, oh, I'm a depressed person, or I'm a sad person, or I'm a highly intelligent person. We don't allow often for this impermanence, flexibility. So check in with your mind and see where it is this evening, and be objective about what you're seeing. You might be delighted at the change or not. And then bring to mind all the people of your life. So your really dear loved ones, the people you're really close to and that you love to your heart. And then those people in your life who you don't like so much. And then there are your strangers. And all these people are the same as you and me. You know, you might feel differently about this one and this one and this one, but, you know, when it comes down to it, they're no different to each other or to you, because everybody wants to be happy. No one wants to suffer. And we all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. This was Lama Yeshe's big push, his big marketing push for this particular practice and for Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism. You're working with your mind here. And the fact that all the lamas are talking about working with your mind means it is, in fact, possible to change your mind, and we do have the power to do that. So that's why this practice works. There's also something very, very particularly special about the sound of the Sanskrit, the impact that it has on your whole system. So this kind of magical language that's also really quite healing. We create positivity with our mind. We create negativity with our mind. We can change it by creating positivity instead. So this practice we're doing is creating positivity. It's not, positivity isn't just all about la 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 la, I'm really happy today. You know, I'm going to be positive about it's. We're doing a very kind of positive, uplifting kind of a practice. So we sincerely regret the first of the four opponent powers from the depths of your heart, anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in any of our past lives. And we can think of specific actions of both our body and our speech, and then in general, we can regret all. So reason to regret is based on this idea of karma. Any action, karma is action. Anything we do that harms another is going to kind of bounce back like a boomerang. So the idea is, if we don't want to keep suffering, we might want to pull out some of those karmic seeds. And so we regret our anger and our attachment and all the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And regret isn't like guilt. Regret is like, I'm going to take action here. I'm going to be responsible. So then we have this idea of reliance. Who are we turning to? And we turn to Vajrasattva, who has these extraordinary methods that we can use to purify ourselves. So the methods involve visualization and a mental component, analysis, thoughtfulness, and then a recitation of this magical Sanskrit mantra. So we're relying upon his medicine. We see him as a doctor. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has this sweet red mouth, and his hair is black, and it's held up in a sort of a knot. And his arms are crossed at his heart, and the left is under the right, and the left is holding a bell. This represents wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents indestructibility of compassion. And when they're crossed like that, it represents enlightenment, compassion, and wisdom. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. And we think about the beings we have harmed and the ones who've harmed us, and have a wish for them all to be free from suffering, particularly those who have harmed us, because they're going to end up suffering in the future. So now we come to the actual medicine. This is the power of the remedy. And we start with purifying the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipukaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Meboa, Sutukaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dinapatita, Jida Meboa, Sutukaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dinapatita, Jida Meboa, Sutukaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dinapatita, Jida Meboa, Sutukaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dinapatita, Jida Meboa, Sutukaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dinapatita, Jida Meboa, Sutukaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. So be really delighted that all the harm you may have done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Triyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kamasita me, sitam triyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe, vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. So now feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and it enters your crown, and then the moment it hits your heart, it's just kind of instant, just like when you turn a light on in a dark room, dispels the darkness. So you imagine as the light hits your heart from Vajrasattva, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, anger, anxiety, depression, all of these delusions sitting in our mind stream are instantly disappear, purified. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, be delighted that all of your delusions, which are the source of all of our unsuffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So imagine that Vajrasattva very happily sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. So you remember the nectar flowing down, purifying all the negativity of our body, and the nectar flowing up, purifying the speech, and then the light coming and blasting all of our delusions. And imagine it's an extra wash, and it happens all at the same time. And then all of these very, very subtle imprints are eradicated from your consciousness. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe. Now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, which is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. And this determination we have to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And of course, without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. So we just have to decide. We decide this determination, this aspiration to refrain from harming, is like guardrails. It becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in more positive directions. So again, rejoice in your efforts for coming along here tonight. And then also think about something maybe you've been working on, something you'd like to work on. And then imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So now Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. And so he would say, in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So however you understand this word emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think, maybe the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do our chanting the names of Manjushri. Deserving homage, worthy of respect, deserving reverence, always honorable, deserving worship, worthy of regard, the highest guru ever venerable. Traversing all three worlds in just one stride, his step extending past the bounds of space, with knowledge of the three well-versed and pure, with sixfold higher knowledge and recall. The Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, with power great, transcending worldly life, perfected by his excellence of insight, now unified with insight's highest nature. Okay, everybody, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, and for our precious Kimberly to be now either residing in a precious human rebirth, moving that way, or in a pure realm. And maybe think about her mother as well. And also think about Lou and anybody else you know who might need a bit of kind of spiritual support right now. And then, did I mention your own teachers? Dedicate for your own teachers to live a long life. All right, everyone.